music. Good afternoon, everybody. Good morning, depending on which coast you're on. Welcome to the latest edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show. Coming at you as I usually love to do every weekday over the national airwaves of ESPN Radio and ESPN News. 250 plus markets across the United States of America. Check your AM FM listing nearest you. Plus ESPN Radio on Sirius XM Channel 80. Plus ESPN Radio simulcast over the live national television airwaves of ESPN News. Number to call up as always is 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. I am having a very bad day. I am not happy. Not by a damn sight. I'm pretty ticked off. And contrary to what you may believe, it's not just because the Dallas Cowboys won a damn game yesterday against the Philadelphia Eagles, blitzing them and blowing them out and embarrassing them in the fashion that they did. I'll get to that in a second. I got a lot of NFL stuff to get to. I haven't been this excited about an NBA season in the last quarter century. I got a whole bunch of things to be excited about, especially since right now I'm in LA for the entire week, courtesy of the start of the NBA season. Nor am I disgusted because Michael Irvin just showed up on my television show First Take, getting on my last damn nerves. Talk about take this L. Oh, there's a lot for me to be disgusted about. But I got to tell you something. There's nothing at this particular moment in time that has disgusted me more than them damn New York Yankees. I knew they were going to lose it. I just knew it. I told you they were going to lose it. But never, ever, in my wildest dreams, thinking about Justin Verlander or thinking about Garrett Cole, that I believed that some dude with the last name Peacock, and Lord knows who the hell else the Astros pulled out of their pen, was going to be able to knock off the New York Yankees. Never in my wildest dreams did I believe that was going to happen. I didn't believe it. But oh, did it happen. And I got to tell you something right now. To watch Aroldis Chapman give up that game-winning home run to Altuve. I mean, listen, ladies and gentlemen, here are the lessons to be learned from things like this. Because I don't want to belabor this point because I'm just too disgusted. I'm just too damn disgusted. I don't want to belabor this point, but this is what I'm going to say. You're in Major League Baseball, scheduled to make over $30 million a year, at least for the next 2 years, unless you opt out of your contract. As a closer, for a reason. Because you got 100 mile per hour gas. What the hell are you on the mound trying to look pretty for, throwing 87 mile per hour sliders? Lord knows you stand about 6'3", 6'4", something along those lines. Altuve is a little bit taller than Mini-Me from all of those damn Austin Power movies. You don't know that an 87 mile per hour slider ain't gonna work against him? You don't know not to be cute? You didn't know that, Aroldis Chapman? You didn't know that? But don't you think for 1 second that the person that I blame, that the culprit on my mind is Aroldis Chapman. Or Edwin Encarnacion and his strikeout having self. 11 strikeouts, 1 for 18, hit it for crying out loud in the ALCS. Let me tell you something right now. None of those dudes are on my mind. The Yankees battled back. They tied it in the bottom, in the top of the ninth. Mad respect, Giancarlo Stanton. I don't know what the hell's going on with you. It's baseball. You ain't no damn football player. I don't know why you can't stay healthy. I have ideas, but I won't say them. But the real culprit to me was that GM known as Brian Cashman. He's the culprit in all of this. I understand that it's hard and you can't just pick up the phone and get any pitcher you want. You know what? Mets ain't giving up DeGrom. You might not want Noah Syndergaard. How about Zach Wheeler? How about him? He would have helped. By the way, why the hell did Garrett Cole end up on the Astros instead of the Yankees? And what you going to do about getting him once this World Series is over and he becomes a free agent? How about that question? And do you remember Brian Cashman before the trading deadline expired? Or after it expired when he got nothing? And the Astros picked up Greinke knowing they already had Cole and Verlander and still picked up Greinke? What was Brian Cashman? We're comfortable with our pitching. We like our chances. We're satisfied with our guys. Ladies and gentlemen, ever since the year 1910, there has never been a calendar decade in the history of Major League Baseball that did not include the Yankees in a World Series. It's never happened until now. This will be the first calendar decade of record in the last century that a New York Yankees team has never gone to the World Series. They went to and won in 2009, ain't been back since. The Yankees had never gone 10 years without a World Series berth until now. Now, what does that mean to y'all? Might not mean nothing. Let me tell you what it means to me. What it means to me is that the Yankees ain't winners. They're perfectly content being contenders. Now, of course, the players are not going to say that, and the manager's not going to say that because they're going through it every single day. And I get that. I'm not talking about them. Of course, I know they go all out. Of course, I know they play hard. I get all that. I'm talking about management led by Cashman or Hank and Hal, a resident sitcom. You want to go that route? You can. That's what I'm talking about. Being satisfied with contention status or contender status, as opposed to doing whatever it takes to get over the hump. That used to be the New York Yankees. That's no longer them. And as a result of that, the Astros are going to the World Series again. They're on the verge of winning their second World Series in the last 3 years. Meanwhile, the Yankees are just a shell of themselves. And I can't even put into words how disgusted I am at all of this. 888-SAY-ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. You are listening live to Stephen A. on ESPN Radio, ESPN News. Let me get to why I'm in L.A., and I'll get to the Dallas Cowboys and them romping the Philadelphia Eagles, embarrassing them the way that they did. Straight, I mean, they straight punked the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles, I'm not calling them punks. I'm saying last night they looked like a bunch of punks. Dallas Cowboys got in their face, got all up in their mug, and the Philadelphia Eagles, an NFC East rival, bowed to the Cowboys. It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. And there's no way around it. We can slice it any way we want to, but that's what happened. And I cannot tell you how embarrassing it is. You got players showing up late to meetings. You got Carson Wentz throwing 40-yard bombs, and Nelson Aguilar has it right there. All he's got to do is stretch his arms out, and suddenly he's got alligator arms. He can't do that. You got guys dropping passes. You got guys missing blocks. You got guys not blocking at all. And your secondary is just absolutely horrendous. You got Jalen Mills back in the lineup. Didn't stop him from getting burnt. You got Rasul Douglas, who continues week after week to get embarrassed. I mean, it's just hard to watch the Philadelphia Eagles right now. We'll give props to the Dallas Cowboys for performing the way that they did. We'll remind the world that Dak Prescott deserves his money and showed last night why he might be worth a bit more than Carson Wentz. So with all of that being said, then guess what? Those are the storylines. What do you want, a cookie? I got nothing else to say. I got nothing else to say. My Yankees lost and the Cowboys won. That makes for a very miserable weekend. But there's sunshine on the horizon. Silver lining, rainbow, whatever you want to call it. And that is the start of the NBA season that takes place tomorrow night. The hub is the Staples Center at or in the city of Los Angeles, the city of angels. That is where I am right now. And I cannot tell you how excited I am. This is the most exciting I have been for an NBA season in my career. There are legitimately 9 title contenders. 9 title contenders. And by the way, for those of you stupid enough to sit up there and say, well, you know what? Most of the teams in the East can't compete with the teams in the West and blah, blah, blah. Everything's about matchups. And I got news for you. When it comes to the playoffs and the finals, the East doesn't play the West until the finals. So it's who comes out of there. And if it's who I believe it will be, which is the Philadelphia 76ers, and their ability to defend, I got news for you. It could be very, very tough. If Ben Simmons has truly been working on his jump shot and he's any kind of perimeter threat, look out. Look the hell out. Josh Richardson can defend. He's not a bad player. He's pretty damn good. Joel Embiid is a star. Ben Simmons is a star. Al Horford is just, he's the quintessential productive veteran personified. And by the way, you weak in Boston because he departed from Boston and now he's in Philly. It's not like he's in Boston any longer. Kemba Walker's big time. Some would argue he's not Kyrie. Some would argue he's the perfect complement or the perfect replacement for Kyrie. But this is new to him. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum have things to prove. And what else do they have? Milwaukee, led by the Greek freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo. But you lost Brogdon to Indiana. You lost Ilyasova to Europe. What you gonna do? I don't know if you and Middleton are enough. I don't know. Even though Budenholzer could coach his tail off. The point that I'm trying to make to you is that if it's the Philadelphia 76ers that are coming out of the East, now let's analyze the Western Conference. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to repeat myself. I'm in L.A. for a reason. This is the hub. And for folks out there in L.A., 710 ESPN L.A., it don't get no better than this. This is what it's all about, baby. I'm telling you right now, as sure as I'm sitting here, let's be very, very clear. There has never in the history of the National Basketball Association been an arena that guaranteed you they would host a championship contender all 82 nights. If it's one team, you got 41 home games, you got 41 road games. But because the Lakers and the Clippers both reside in the Staples Center, because the Lakers and the Clippers are championship contenders, because the Lakers and the Clippers are championship contenders being led by champions, LeBron James with the Lakers, Kawhi Leonard with the Clippers, and both have 2 stars as sidekicks in Anthony Davis and Paul George respectively. I got news for you. This is the hub. It's the city of angels. It's Los Angeles. It's ESPN 710. Don't you turn that down. Don't you turn that down. This is it. This is what we've been waiting for. This is what it's about. From Billy Crystal to Jack himself. And stars all over the place. The Staples Center every single night of the NBA season. This is it. This is what we've been waiting for. And I got news for you. Not only are they championship contenders, these are the 2 favorites to win the chip. But that doesn't take anything away from the Western Conference. Let me break this down to you. The Portland Trailblazers went to the Western Conference Finals last year. They'll be back. Damian Lillard's paid Supermax dollars. CJ McCollum's getting paid. You look at their team, they're a threat. Can't ignore them. Even though Hassan Whiteside should be arrested for theft because he stole money from the Miami Heat after he got paid for a few years in South Beach, he's now in Portland looking for a new contract. I expect him to have a big year. That's something to keep your eyes on. You got Utah. Donovan Mitchell's got a sidekick, Mike Conley. That's one of the best backcourts in the National Basketball Association. You can't ignore them and what they bring to the table. You got to keep your eyes on Utah. The Houston Rockets. James Harden now has Russell Westbrook instead of CP3. Russell Westbrook, 4 years younger, significantly more athletic, and obviously more of a scorer. Certainly not the point guard that CP3 is, but the player, hell yes. James Harden's going to get a lot of open shots because of Russell Westbrook. And you still kept Eric Gordon, and you still got Clint Capella. Personally speaking, my opinion is they should go back and get Trevor Ariza, but that's neither here nor there. So you got that going on. So I gave you both the Lakers and the Clippers. I gave you Portland. I gave you Utah. I gave you Houston. That's 5. How about the Golden State Warriors? The 5-time reigning Western Conference champions. I understand that Klay Thompson is not there right now because of his ACL tear. He'll be back before the season's over. I understand Kevin Durant has taken his services to Brooklyn. But when Klay Thompson comes back and Steph Curry is still there, do understand, ladies and gentlemen, that is still the greatest shooting backcourt that we've ever seen in NBA history? You do understand that, right? 2 of the top 5 shooters in the history of basketball. I would say Steph is number 1, and you can make a legitimate argument that Klay's number 2. So please understand where I'm coming from with this. With their shooting prowess, they don't have to contend with anybody down low. They don't have to get physical. They don't have to bang bodies. They can stand 30 feet. Literally, those two can stand 30 feet away from the basket and bury you all night long. That's 6 teams. How about the Denver Nuggets? The Denver Nuggets are not a team to be ignored. They lost in the semifinals to Portland. But you see what they have with the Jokic, and Murray. The list goes on and on with those brothers. They can ball. That's 7 different teams. 7 in the Western Conference. And there's always somebody on the come up. Whether it's Karl Anthony Towns in Minnesota hopefully getting their act together. Whether it's Sacramento who might be on the rise. You can't ignore this. Can't knock out San Antonio. They still have DeMar DeRozan. LaMarcus Aldridge, you can't ignore them. Dallas has Porzingis and Doncic. I mean, the West is loaded everywhere you turn. You simply can't ignore what you're seeing from those guys. It's something to be reckoned with. And God help everybody in the East if Kevin Durant miraculously comes back before the season's over. I don't give a damn if he misses the entire regular season. If Kevin Durant comes back just for the playoffs, who's going to stop that brother from scoring at least 20 a night? Who? Who is it? Take your time. I'll wait. This is Kevin freaking Durant we're talking about here. This is Kevin freaking Durant. Oh, by the way, Jimmy Butler's in Miami. You can't ignore that with some of those athletes that they have. I'm not saying they'll win a championship by any stretch, but they can make things interesting. Can't knock out Boston. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a special, special season. Special season. And I can't wait. I've got the Lakers winning the championship. Even though the Clippers are a better team. They're deeper. They've got 2 people at every single position. But I've got the Lakers winning the championship. Because I don't know how you defend LeBron and Anthony Davis if they're healthy come playoff time. I don't know how you do it. I was supposed to tell you it's time for Straight Talk, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless, but since I didn't do that, I'm doing it now. And I'm ending it by saying that was Straight Talk Wireless, everything for less, only at Walmart. There's a lot to discuss. particularly about this upcoming NBA season. And what better way to jumpstart it by talking to my man, the one and only Jeff Van Gundy. He'll be right here with yours truly within the next few minutes, live right here on the Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio, ESPN News. Don't touch that dial. I got a lot more coming your way. By the way, go to the Home Depot to add personality and style to your room with a wide selection of on-trend tile all in one place. Choose the Home Depot as your free, no-hassle carpet installation partner. Where free really means free on purchases over $499 through November 6th. Everything from moving furniture to carpeting stairs. Really, no fees. Today is the day for doing. Visit HomeDepot.com/flooring for details. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Here's the Select Quote term life insurance difference. Most companies give you one option, one policy, one rate. But Select Quote shops and gets you up to 10 options from highly rated life insurers for